Hi guys, today's video is about operative report components, which will give you an overview of how and what to look out for in an operative report. So the first one that I've given is like the major parts that you'll have to check in an op report. So approach, like you have to check if it's an open or a closed or a percutaneous approach, laterality, right or left, and then surgeons, you have to check if there is only one surgeon or if there was a co-surgeon or if there was an assistant surgeon. So all this you'll have to check. And then we know that there are gender and age specific CPT codes, so you'll have to always check out for the gender and the age of the patient. And then diagnosis, you will always have a pre-op diagnosis and a post-op diagnosis, and you'll also have to check if there is a correlation between the diagnosis and the procedure. And in the anesthesia, you have to check if it was a general anesthesia administered or a local or a moderate sedation. And then post-op findings will have a different field where you'll have the post-op findings written by the doctor. And then specimen collection is like when they are doing a biopsy or a excision procedure, there will be a specimen that was collected. So that also you'll have to check. So I have given a sample report here. So this is like only the first part of the report where I have given the pre-op diagnosis, post-op diagnosis, then the operation name, and then you'll have the estimated blood loss, transfusion, drains, specimen. So this was a cholecystectomy. So the specimen collected was gallbladder, and then you'll have a description of the procedure. Next one is intervention types. You have to check if the procedure was done for a diagnostic or a therapeutic purpose. So a diagnostic is usually to identify a disease, suppose to know the cause of a symptom, and therapeutic is usually to treat a disease. So once you identify the problem with a diagnostic procedure, you will go on to a therapeutic procedure to treat the disease. Moving on to the procedure types, you have open and closed. So open procedure is where you will cut through the skin and the problem site is exposed. So you can see a picture here where the site is open and the procedure is then being done. And you have to note that a small nick in the skin or a small incision made in the skin does not contribute to a open approach. So these are actually percutaneous procedures. And for closed, it usually uses a scope, endoscopy, laparoscopy, etc. And there are like 2 or 3 small cuts will be made and the scope will be inserted and the procedure will be done. And an example is laparoscopic appendectomy. So usually for an open operative procedure, the recovery time will be more, and for a closed approach, the recovery time is very less. Then we have the percutaneous or external. This is also a type of an approach. So percutaneous is through the skin. For example, I have given here percutaneous procedure on the kidney. So it's like a puncture or a minor incision is done and a needle or a percutaneous scope is like inserted, and then you'll have the procedure done. Then external approach. External is like procedures which are performed directly on the skin or a mucous membrane, and procedures performed indirectly by the application of external force through the skin or mucous membrane. So a closed reduction or a small laceration repair, these are all external procedures. Now another major thing in the operative procedure is like the surgical package. So you have what is called the global surgical package, also known as global surgery, which includes all the necessary services normally furnished by a surgeon before, during and after a procedure. So it includes the pre-op, inter-op as well as the post-op procedures that are being done. So usually the global surgical packages are divided into 3: 0-day, 10-day and 90 days. So for a 0-day procedure, no pre-op or post-op period is there. For a 10-day, no pre-op is there. For 90 days, you will have 1-day pre-op. So for a 0-day procedure, example is endoscopy and minor day procedure. And for 10 days, it's like total of 11 days, which includes the day of surgery plus 10 days post-op. And 90 days is actually total of 92 days, which includes 1 day pre-op, the surgery day, as well as 90 days post-op. The next one is services included in the global surgery payment. So these are a list of procedures or services that are included in the global surgery package. So one is pre-operative visits after the decision is made to operate. For major procedures, this includes pre-operative visits the day before the day of the surgery. For minor procedures, this includes pre-operative visits the day of the surgery. Okay. And for intra-operative services, the procedures which are the services which are done between the operation, and then all additional medical or surgical services required of the surgeon during the post-operative period, that is also included because of complications, because of the complication of the surgery, etc., which do not require additional trip to the operating room. So these are all included in the global surgery. And then follow-up visits are included, post-surgical pain management is included, and then miscellaneous services like the dressing changes, local incision care, removal of operative pack. So I've given a list here. So all these are also included in the services, global surgery package. So this is the list of common modifiers which are used while coding an op report. So the first one is unusual procedural services, where the surgeries require services greater than what is usually required. And bilateral procedure is like when it is done on the right and left. And then you have to check out for the difference between the reduced service 52 modifier and the 53 discontinued service. So reduced services when the procedure does not require the complete services from the physician, and discontinued procedure is when during the procedure the provider is discontinuing the procedure, like he is not able to complete the procedure due to some complication or due to some unhealthy well-being of the patient. So something related to that is discontinued procedure. So you'll have to always check out the difference between the 52 and 53 modifier. And then we have the 54 and 55, which have the surgical care and post-operative care management only. And then we have the 57 modifier, which is the decision for surgery. So this is to be used when with the appropriate E&M code when the decision to perform surgery was done in that visit. And then we have the 58 modifier, where for a staged procedure. So in some cases it may be a very complex procedure, and the physician may stage the procedure. He will say, okay, we'll do one part in this session, and the other part we'll schedule for the next day. So that is a staged procedure. So that's it with our op report. So I hope this gives you an understanding of how and what we should check in an op report. We'll see some other topics in our next session, and until then, take care. Bye.